All right, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for being here. My name is Tanya Violette, Counseling Coordinator for the San Diego County Office of Ed, and this is our first workshop of our series on San Diego students staying local in our four-year colleges. And so I hope today you're able to learn, attend more than just one or two of these webinars, but in case you're not, we will be recording this session and it will be posted on our resource page on the San Diego Counselor page with SDCOE. So I'm excited to welcome Roberta Camarena to our webinar today. She is the Assistant Director of Admissions for Diversity Recruitment at UCSD. So I'm not going to take up too much more time. Roberta, it's all yours, and thank you again for being here.
Thank you so much, Tanya. Hi, everyone. Thank you again for being here. Roberta Camarena, Assistant Director of Admissions Diversity Recruitment, alumna of UC San Diego, class of '93. I had a degree, got a degree in biochemistry, cell biology with minors in math and Spanish, and taught high school and counseled in high school for about 15 years before I decided to come back to my alma mater and serve in admissions. I'm also a proud parent of an undergraduate at UC San Diego. Elijah will be graduating this year with a math degree from Raffle College. So I won't take up too more time about myself. Today, we're going to cover academic, college system, UC San Diego student profile, year and transfer admissions requirements, stats from fall application process, how to apply, cost and finances to a student's education. And then at the end, I'll be able to entertain some questions. Hopefully I'll answer as many as possible. And if there's any that are left, I'm sure that Tanya will share the chat with me in the future so that I can go and follow up to respond to those questions. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I also wanted to mention, I will be having a short raffle at the end for those of you who stay through the entire program. Thank you. Again, if you have questions, this is our contact information. If there's something that I'm not able to relay to you during this session, feel free to contact our admissions office directly. And remember that if you have questions, just utilize the chat feature and we'll go through the questions at the end. All right, so about UC San Diego, obviously you all know we're in La Jolla. We're a huge campus. We have 1,200 acres, literally minutes from the beach. As an undergraduate, I used to jog down to the beach and there were two pathways. One that could take 10 minutes, that was about a mile, and the other was about a 5-mile jog. And it would take me about 50 minutes to get down there and back to the campus. But it's really beautiful depending on where the students live. They can actually have a view of the ocean. Most of the time, you know, as San Diegans, that the temperature today is a little rainy, but normally we have pretty much sunshine throughout the year. We have 140 majors across UC San Diego, and they're subdivided into 8 disciplines. Remember that we do have majors that are considered capped majors. And what that means is that they are limited in capacity, which means that students, as they select the major, at times they may get their first choice. And if the major is full, then the students would have to choose an alternative choice major. For first-year students, we are able to, if we are able to admit the student to their first choice major, then they obviously get it. But if they're not, then we look at their alternative major. Or if they didn't have an alternative major or their alternative major is also capped and we're not able to offer that, then they are placed in an undecided major as they're admitted to UC San Diego. As a transfer student, if we are not able to offer a student their first choice major, then we look up their alternative major. If their alternative major is also capped and we're not able to offer their alternative major, then unfortunately, transfer students are not admitted into an undecided or undeclared major. I do want to note there was a time frame that economics was capped and it no longer is capped. But the math component, if it's a joint major with economics and math, then it would be a capped major. UC San Diego is obviously ranked very high across various rankings, but I really love this one that we're number 4 in public college in Wall Street Journal. And the reason that I love this one is it's very close to home. I, as a first gen student, had a difficult time, right? Financially at times. But the wonderful thing is that the promise that UC San Diego has is that students are able to then move up in their social status upon graduating, because the preparation is not only academic, but UC San Diego provides a lot of internship opportunities for students, research opportunities, study abroad, and all of this really prepares us well as we go into the work source or in the work field. And ultimately, we're very marketable. And I love this ranking. And that basically, that ranking is stating that we're the best, number 4 best institution with regards to social mobility. And obviously you see other rankings there, but I always like to cover that one. With regards to another method of preparing students is we've added a core curricular record to a student's transcript. So on the front of their transcript, it lists all their academic achievements, and the co-curricular record behind the transcript, or the second page, would usually list any opportunities that students took advantage of, and any research, academic life, student organizations, or engagement across campus, community-based or global learning, and then professional and career development as their undergraduates here at UC San Diego, which is an added benefit as they submit their transcript to jobs and professions, as well as graduate programs. That makes San Diego very unique is the college system. The college system helps students thrive as they create an opportunity to make the university experience more personal and approachable. The college system allows students to experience the best of both worlds, the advantages that come with being a tier 1 research institution that has both state-of-the-art facilities and world-renowned faculty members. While being part of a smaller community through their college affiliation, new freshmen are housed by college, academic advising, dean's office, services are provided at the college level. Students can study any UC San Diego major at any one of the colleges. The major is exactly the same regardless of the college, and classes are taught throughout the campus and include students from all the colleges. Each college has its own student government, organizations, traditions, special events. These are all also options campus-wide, not just obviously within the college, but students are able to choose then, and they get the benefit of choosing campus-wide involvement or individual college involvement. That can be a little bit more intimate. The difference amongst the colleges is that each college has their own philosophy. From that, they develop their own general education requirements, and students rank the colleges on the UC application for admission. If offered admission to UC San Diego, a college is assigned based on how they were ranked on the application. We hope that students all get their first choice, but that isn't always the situation. So we just hope that the students remember the ranking. So as we place them in their second or third choice, they're familiar and aware with the individual colleges. Specifics on each college is Raffle offers a traditional liberal arts education with courses from many academic disciplines inside and outside of the student's major to help students become well-rounded scholars. Muir advocates individual choice and active involvement in the 4-year long educational sequence from broad list of academic disciplines to support a student's independent spirit. Marshall directs growth as a scholar and citizen through general education courses designed to raise awareness and understanding of the diversity of cultures in contemporary American society. And although all the colleges are the same, I have to say that I'm a little biased because I graduated from Marshall College. Warren College focuses on ethics and engagement by engaging a life in the balance through programs of concentration that complement of the major also provides students with a well-rounded education. And Roosevelt focuses on development as a global citizen through general education courses that build student awareness and understanding of the histories, customs, ideas, and problems and aspirations of people around the world. Sixth College concentrates on its general education requirements on developing ethical integrity, creativity, self-understanding, critical reasoning, and appreciation of the power and implications of science and technology. And 7th College, which is our newest college, our baby college across the campus. 7th began enrolling their first year students in fall of 2022. Their focus will be on interdisciplinary explorations of our changing planet. And it'll begin enrolling transfer students fall of 2022. These slides give you a snapshot of the campus, our undergraduate student profile. We have 31,800 undergraduate students across UC San Diego, and each year, 2/3 of our new students enter as first-year students straight from high school, or they maybe have taken a year off, right, to explore the world and did not attend college, which still makes them first-year students. And then 1/3 of our students enter as transfer students, primarily from California community colleges. If a student attends a community college after they graduate in a term that's not the summer that precedes their graduation year, then we consider them a transfer. And I'll go through the details of what's required to be a transfer in a few slides forward. Our students come from 45 US states and over 100 countries and regions throughout the world. 3/4 of our undergraduates are specifically from California. Time to degree is obviously very important to us, and our first-year students tend to graduate within 4 years and a quarter, and our transfers are 2 years and 2 quarters. We have an excellent retention rate of 95% for both first-year and transfer students, and officially established in 1960 with the first undergraduates starting in 1964. UC San Diego has 200,000 plus alumni, which I belong to that world, and it's throughout the entire world. So it's really exciting to have that kind of network. Housing, we offer on-campus housing for first-year and transfer students. For detailed information regarding housing and availability, please visit our housing website. And if you notice it's on there, it's hdh.ucsd.edu. Campus housing and dining and hospitality offers dozens of restaurants, markets, and food trucks with vegan, kosher, and halal offerings. The campus opened the North Torrey Pines Living and Learning Neighborhood, the new home to 6th College this past year, which we're really excited about. It is a vibrant mixed-use community providing additional housing and new dining options. So as the students came back into 6th College, they found their new housing and fell enamored with it, of course. Housing information for new undergraduates. Know that the new undergraduates are housed by college, and housing is a suite style or apartment style living. Students can have an option. Usually first-year students will live in a suite style, and then continuing students will live on an apartment style living. 1/3 of our transfers tend to live on campus, and we do have specific transfer housing on campus. Nothing beats on-campus living. Students will be right next door to everything that they need. Obviously, the beach is really close by too, which doesn't hurt. There are 500 plus student organizations on campus. Organizations vary by interest, including academic related, extracurricular, sorority, fraternities, as well as intramural sport teams. Beginning fall 2020, subject, of course, to COVID restrictions moving forward. But this past years, all of our athletics became NCAA Division I in the Big West Conference. Some of the events include Meet the Beach, the Sun God Festival, restaurant crawls, dinner and a movie, laser tag, trivia, and more. There are also student organizations in every college, as I had mentioned before. The Student Veteran Organization, which is the largest group on campus for military connected students and their families, is always a go-to for students that are military affiliated. Being engaged in student life activities supports students with timely degree completion, learning experience, professional development, and community engagement. If you are working with transfer students, know that there are some specific organizations and resources related to transfer student experience, such as ACTA, which is one of my favorites. It's an all-campus transfer association. Triton Transfer Hub and the university also offers commuter lounges for students that don't live on campus throughout the entire campus that have places for them to rest, resources for them that are specific to commuters. Obviously, you're all familiar with San Diego. Students have quite a bit that they can take advantage of here locally. One of my favorites, of course, is Balboa Park, and I love going to SeaWorld. And students get discounts across all of San Diego to take advantage of facilities that they can travel to. The exciting part is we have 2 trolley stops on campus in La Jolla that opens this coming month in November, which is really exciting. And so students will be able to hop on that trolley in 2 different locations across the campus and ride that trolley all the way down to the international border in San Isidro. Should they choose, of course. They can stop anywhere in between. We do have UC San Diego community centers that provide opportunities for building relationships by increasing awareness of social issues and encouraging dialogue. Most centers offer internships as well as a place to study, take naps, print papers, eat, hang out with friends. I used to wish I'd have a place like that when I was an undergraduate. So I love to visit the centers now as a staff member and meet the staff and the student interns. They're always super friendly and welcoming to students and have a lot of activities for them to take part in. I'm gonna take a little bit of water here. This information specifically is for first year applicants. Admissions requirements for first year applicants is also available through our digital one-sheeter. And I'll go ahead after this program, there's going to be a page where this recording will be offered for you to listen to, or for anyone who missed it. And I'll also provide Tanya a few links with the one-sheeter that I'm mentioning that has information and additional links that I think might be useful for yourself and your students. UC San Diego is a selective campus for admission, so it's important that students exceed minimum requirements to become more competitive applicants. Requirements, obviously you're familiar with the A through G subject requirements, which represent academic preparatory courses that first year applicants must complete in high school, with the exception of language other than English and math, beginning with Algebra 1. If the student took either of these in grade 7 and or 8 with a C or better, they can use that to satisfy that portion of the A through G requirement. With regards to GPA, UC San Diego considers a weighted GPA using 10th and 11th grade A through G courses. AP and IB and UC approved honors courses, as well as some additional honors classes that the student may have in high school. Transferable college courses are used as a weighted GPA for students. And California residents must have a minimum GPA of a 3.0, but as I mentioned, students want to obviously exceed the minimum. Non-California residents must have a 3.4 GPA or higher, and same with them. A through G course completion for spring 2020 for all students included the UC most recently admitted freshman A through G courses completed from spring 2020 and beyond, at least until further notice, can be utilized as a pass or credit grade to satisfy the A through G. Normally we require a C or better, but in these conditions, we are allowing students to complete those with a pass or credit. The pass or credit grade for spring and summer 2020 will be continuing through to meet A through G requirements and anything beyond that, of course. Pass and credit grades will meet A through G subject requirements, but will not be calculated obviously in the GPA because we won't have a grade point to equivalent to those pass or credit. UC San Diego will continue to calculate the GPA for admissions purposes using any A through G courses that the student took for letter grade in grades 10 and 11, including summer term following 9th grade, 10th grade, and 11th grade. And extra points in honors level courses will continue to be capped at 8 semesters of honors points for the A through G course completion with a grade of A, B, or C in grades 10 or 11. For the examination, UC San Diego will not consider SAT or ACT test scores as a factor of admissions decision through fall of 2024. If students choose to submit test scores as part of their application, they may be able to use alternative methods to fulfill minimum requirements for eligibility or for course placement after they enroll to UC San Diego. Please note that updated language on UCOP exam requirements page, and I will provide that link for that page at a later date. Demonstration of English proficiency is still required for international students, and I will provide that page if you need it at a later date as well, so that you can reference it. Our goal is to identify and admit students who are fully prepared to excel in our challenging academic environment. We are looking for students who represent strong academic achievement, exceptional personal talent, and the broad diversity of abilities, personal experience, and background characteristics of California. To learn more about the review process, please visit our website. And it's listed here in yellow highlight, admissions.ucsd.edu. With regards to application review, UC San Diego conducts a holistic review of freshman applicants, taking everything into on the application file into consideration. Review includes both academic and non-academic factors, academic rigor, achievement, the number of AP, IB, and UC approved honors courses, transfer courses that the student may take at community college or university, ELC, eligibility at the local context for California residents, personal qualities and achievements, leadership and special talents, academic enrichment programs, personal insight questions. And with regards to the personal insight questions, there are 8 questions for first year applicants to select. They are to select 4, and it doesn't matter which 4 they select. Those are usually most appropriate to each individual. The weight that is given is regardless of which question they selected. So it's the same weight given to each question. And there is a 350 word maximum for each answer. I've seen students that use 300 words. I've seen students that use all 350, and it really is based on what they're communicating. It's not a English class, so we're really not focusing on the grammar, but the content that the student is sharing. Some helpful hints is to start the process early. Please encourage your students to, if they're seniors, obviously this year, the application is going to be submitted in November, but they really had access to that application since August. So we hope that they've already started it and that they've already selected their personal insight questions and have been working on them. And just to make sure that that voice on the PIQs is their voice, and not worried about how creative they're being with their language. As long as it's legible and we can understand it, we'll get the gist of what they're communicating. And here's some statistics for fall of 2021 first year students. UC San Diego received 118,400 applications of first year students, and we admitted 34%. The middle 50% range was a GPA of a 4.04 to a 4.29, which means that we admitted students above and below that. Again, just to reiterate, UC San Diego did not consider the SAT or ACT test scores as a factor of admissions decision this past fall 2021, and we will not consider them until fall, at least through fall 2024. If a student chooses to submit part of those test scores, they may do so, but they're going to be used as an alternative method to fulfill minimum requirements for eligibility and for course placement, and not for admissions purposes. And just remember that I'm going to provide the websites for you to reference at a later date for students to be able to get more information on the exam process. For transfer students, minimum admissions requirements for transfer applicants are included on this page, and also they can be found on our website. There's a Triumph brochure that lists all of this wonderful information for first year as well as transfer students. I encourage you to send your students directly to our portal to get information that's highly coveted from a lot of students, and it's continuously being updated. So we want to make sure that it's always live and students are getting accurate information. For transfer students, the requirements include 60 UC transferable semester units completed by the end of the spring term before fall term start, and subject requirements include 2 English composition courses that are transferable, 1 transferable mathematics concept or quantitative reasoning, and 4 courses to be selected from at least 2 of the 3 areas of arts and humanities, physical and biological sciences, and or social and behavioral sciences. Students must have a competitive GPA, obviously, in order to gain admission to UC San Diego as a transfer in the specific UC transfer courses. We do have major preparation that students will need to complete. It's important that all students planning to transfer work on completing the major preparation courses, and they can be found. There's a website that's highlighted here where students can reference to get the exact list of what those courses are for biological sciences, chemistry and biochemistry, cognitive science and behavioral neurosciences, economics, engineering, marine biology, mathematics, and physics. Applicants to these majors will be screened for the number of prep courses completed and the grades earned in those courses and the cumulative GPA. Applicants not meeting major preparation screening will be considered for the alternative major. And if they meet the campus selection requirements, they'll be admitted either by their first major if they've met those requirements and they've met selection, or their alternative major. Remember that if a student is not admitted into their major, they're not admitted because we do not admit students that are transfer applicants as undecided or undeclared. California Community College students can use assist.org in order to determine which courses are UC transferable and to determine which courses they want to take at the community college to complete their lower division, major preparation requirements, as well as general education requirements. UC states to what is listed on assist for specific programs can be found at a specific major update. And I'll provide that link, but it's basically admissions.ucsd.edu/major update. Following IGETC, which is intersegmental general education transfer curriculum, is a method of students completing their lower division general education requirements at 6 out of the 7 colleges. This is a contract that they fulfill with the community college. Once the community college deems that they've completed their IGETC requirements, they will then, per the student request, send their completion to the campus, and then we'll forward that to the individual colleges that honor the IGETC for the completion of the full lower division requirements. A student can complete a UC TAP account. And the wonderful thing about this TAP account is that it's an excellent way for students to plan and track their progress. And then if they want us to utilize that to review the coursework that they've taken, we're able to view the TAP account. Another benefit is that when a student decides to apply to UC San Diego, they can then import the grades and the classes from their TAP account directly into the UC application without having to retype them. And this is a small snapshot of our fall 2021 transfer students. UC San Diego received 22,400 applications for the fall of 2021. And we admitted 55% of the students. The middle 50% range of transfer students admitted are listed here at a 3.55 to a 3.91. Remember that community college courses are not honors weighted. So this is going to be a raw GPA instead of obviously a weighted GPA for first year students. So as mentioned, our application opened on August 1st. And all the UC campuses use one application for all 9 undergraduate campuses. And the application can be submitted November 1st through November 30th. We recommend that students apply broadly across the UC campuses and to investigate and research those colleges before they submit their application. So as they rank the colleges within UC San Diego, their ranking is intentional. The application fee is $70 per campus campus for domestic students and 80 per campus for international students. Fee waivers are available through the online application, and if students qualify, they are able to apply for up to 4 UC campuses, and they'll know on the application immediately when they request a fee waiver, even before they select the individual UC campuses that they're applying to. Notification for first-year students will come out mid-March of whether they've been admitted, and for transfer students mid-March through May 1st. And the deadline for students to accept their offer of admission for first-year students is May 1st, and for transfer students is June 1st. Financing the students' education. Here's a slide that shows the estimate budget for 2021-2022 academic year at UC San Diego. The breakdown shows the variance depending on the students living on campus, or whether they choose to live off campus, or whether they choose to live off campus with their family. There is a non-resident tuition amount that's added to students from outside of California, which is an extra $29,754. The cost of attendance minus the gift aid, which consists of grants and scholarships, equals the net cost to an individual. I encourage students to submit for financial aid, and I'll go over that on the next slide. What is UC's new tuition stability plan? The plan is to minimize unexpected increases in tuition and allow UC to provide more financial aid support to its low-income undergraduates for non-fee costs of books, food, and housing, and to assure that UC will continue to be able to provide a world-class education with a focus on enrolling more California students from all backgrounds and economic means. Things to know: multiple year plan that sets system-wide tuition and fees for undergraduates based on initial year of enrollment. The set system-wide tuition should remain the same across the duration of the student's career in college, or up to 6 academic years, whichever comes first. This policy applies to in-state and out-of-state system-wide tuition levels for undergraduates. System tuition for California resident students entering fall 2022 will be about $13,104, a 4.2% increase over the current year across the UC system. For classes entering after fall 22, system-wide tuition will be assessed using inflation as a factor. Tuition increases may not exceed 5%. Actual tuition and fees and charges are subject to change, and so we want students to always go to our website and to look at that. Sorry, scholars. I highly encourage to apply for financial aid. Scholarship, grants, loans, and work study are available. Students can apply for financial aid using the FAFSA, free application for federal student aid, or the California DREAM Act application. They're available online as of this month, October 1st, and the priority deadline to submit is March 2nd. Blue and Gold Opportunity is something that's unique to the UC system. The University of California has committed to California residents who have a total family income below $80,000 and meet the following requirements: that they're California residents, submit the FAFSA or the Cal Grant GPA verification form by March 2nd. Be the first, the first 4 years of attendance at a UC or the first 2 years of a transfer, and meet campus basic requirements for UC grant aid, for example, enrolled in at least half time during the academic year and meet academic progress standards, etc. UC tuition will be covered by grants and/or scholarship for California students from families with low incomes of less than $80,000 who have a financial need, which means that they don't have to take out any loans to meet that tuition if they meet those restrictions. Scholarships, UC application for admission is also a scholarship application, and students can request to be considered for up to 16 specific scholarships on the UC application. There's also a merit-based scholarship that will automatically be considered for, the students are automatically considered for if admitted. We encourage applicants to look outside of the university for private scholarships. Some examples of search engines that students can find scholarships listed at is fastweb.com and collegeboard.com. For more information, students can find information on additional scholarships at our financial aid website. Our financial aid and scholarship offers website is fao.ucsd.edu. And it's also a link that I'll provide at a later date too.
And Roberta,
Ways to connect? Yes.
I say we just have a couple more minutes. Just wanted to give you a heads up.
Okay, thank you. I'm almost done, and then I'll go ahead and take a few questions. This is a good screen to take a screenshot at, and we encourage students to connect with us, not only obviously through email and our website, but also through social media. And that's pretty much it. If you have questions that I'm not able to cover today, I highly encourage you to take a screenshot of this website, of this slide, to provide more information to your students. I'll stop sharing, and that way I can take a few questions if you want to share them with me, Tanya.
All right. Did we see anything in the Q&A, Zarette? Or in the chat?
We currently do not have any questions, but we welcome everyone to put them either in the chat or in the Q&A.
Or if you'd like to unmute and ask it, you can do that as well. No questions? All right. Well, I do know that, so Roberta did put up a slide with her contact information. So thank you so much for sharing that. But I know that Roberta is excited to give a prize to someone. Do you want to share what's in the prize that we're
Yes, I have, we love, obviously the students love those little string bags, but we adults, we like our shopping bags. So I'm going to provide both little bags, and inside of there, you'll find some extra goodies as I go and go through our office to find as much as I can put in that goodie bag.
Perfect. And so we are going to have Zarette randomly select someone who has been on this call for the entire duration. So Zarette, go ahead and pick someone off the list.
Here we go. Drum roll, please. And I see a Taryn Felch. Did I say it correctly? Congratulations, Taryn.
Congratulations, Taryn. And if you could let Zarette know your address, you can just add that into the chat. Just send her a private message. We will make sure to get that to Roberta and have her mail you off that swag bag that she just mentioned.
We are going onto the campus already, so it's going to be very easy for me to shop through our office and get a lot of goodies for you.
Very excited. Taryn was one of my grad students. Now
Yay.
So congratulations, Taryn. Very excited for you. Well, thank you all for being here today for our UCSD updates. Thank you, Roberta, for sharing a very thorough and complete presentation. And like I mentioned earlier, this has been recorded, and we will post this recording along with her slide deck and all of her resources on the SDCUE School Counseling page by next week. All right. So thank you again. Hopefully you join us in the next few minutes for our SDSU presentation. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for joining.